Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we are so excited to have you again. The drama in respect to the PEPC judgment is yet to be concluded as a very new latest development has come up. And the latest development is the fact that Atiku's camp is questioning the PEPC to explain to Nigerians why Tinubu's legal team Watermark should be on the CTC copies. Oh my God, this is really interesting. Let's see the full details of this. Now, according to the news, the camp of the People Democratic Party presidential candidate, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, has demanded explanation from the Presidential Election Petition Court (PEPC) on why certified true copies of the judgment bears the header of the Bola Tinubu presidential legal team. Can be recalled that there had been insinuations that the tribunal ruling was compromised in favor of President Bola Tinubu due to the Tinubu's presidential legal team watermark found on the copies in circulation on social media. However, the coordinator of the Tinubu presidential legal team, Babatunde Ogala, senior advocate of Nigeria, in a statement on Saturday, debunked such insinuations. According to him, the judgment was not compromised and the watermark were only applied by the team after they got their own copies of the consolidated judgment from the Court of Appeal. Ogala explained further that the lawyers for the PDP were present at the registry where they picked up the clean copies of the tribunal ruling, adding that the PDP lawyers were even the first to pick copies of the judgment from the court registry. In a statement made available, the Special Assistant Communication to Atiku, Frank Shaibu, stated that it is very important that the PEPC should tell Nigerians why they choose to affix the header of the respondent on the CTC copies of their judgment, whereas the copies that went to the petitioner did not have the same. According to him, he said, was that because the Tinubu legal team is deemed to be accorded special privileges? The court must explain. Shaibu also questioned why the PEPC came to the decision to avail the respondent, especially the Tinubu legal team, to have a first receipt of the CTC of the judgment before the plaintiff. According to his word, and I quote, he said, the curiosity is more confounding based on the fact that the lead counsel to Atiku and the PDP has pleaded in the open court to have express receipt of the judgment, to which Justice Haruna Samani agreed to and promised to make the document available the following day, which was Thursday. Nigerians want to know why the PEPC confers special privileges to Tinubu legal team by making them have a first custody of copies of the PEPC judgment, even though it was more urgent for the petitioners who needed the document in order to cause an appeal to the Supreme Court within 14 days, including weekends. In the course of delivering its judgment, the PEPC has spoken of the petition it was ruling upon in a vexatious and denigrating language at it, as if it was a crime to bring a case of electoral banditry before the court. However, unfolding development after the court's ruling elicits suspicions about whether or not the Tinubu legal team provided clerical services to the PEPC. Otherwise, how and when did the Tinubu's presidential legal team creep into a document that was supposed to be the official document of the Court of Appeal of Nigeria? We need to restate that the Tinubu's presidential legal team on the top left-hand corner of all the 798 pages is neither a monochrome nor a metadata. It is actually a header, meaning that except for a valid explanation, the Tinubu presidential legal team is the originator of the document. For the purpose of clarity, a header is text that is placed at the top of a page, while a footer is placed at the bottom of a page. Typically, these areas are used for inserting information such as the name of the document, the chapter heading, page numbers, creation date, and the likes. On the other hand, watermark is a faint design made in some papers during manufacture that is visible when held against the light and typically identifies the maker of the document. The PEPC must, on its honor, if indeed it still has any, clarify why the court choose to put the header of the Tinubu legal team on a CTC copy of its judgment document, while the only emblem that should have been on the document is the stamp of the Court of Appeal of Nigeria. Again, the PEPC must explain why it came to the discretionary decision of having the respondent have a custody of the judgment earlier in the day on Friday, while only making same available to the petitioner later in the day, and only after the lead counsel to Atiku and PDP had written a second letter. The first was on Thursday to the court demanding for copies of the judgment. Moreover, we have it on good authority that when the PEPC was informed that the CTC copies of the judgment given to the respondent was already circulating in the public domain with the header of TPLT on it, a further delay was necessitated by the need for it to undertake a laundry of the document by removing the Tinubu presidential legal team header before handing over same to the lawyer of Atiku. Whereas the legal team of the PDP and Atiku have statutory 14 days to prepare its appeal to the Supreme Court, the PEPC has erased 2 days out of that 14 days. No thanks to the PEPT, whose chairman, Justice Samani, had promised to make available the CTC copies of the judgment to Atiku day after its judgment was rendered, which ought to have been on Thursday. Atiku's aide noted that Nigerians and the world are earnestly waiting for answers to these posters as a legal challenge shift to the Supreme Court. He said if explanations are not given, it will validate suspicion that there were external factors involved in the formation of the judgment and bring the entire judiciary of Nigeria into disrepute. Shaibu, in his words, says, make no mistake about it, the legal challenge to the electoral boundary of February 25th, which has now shifted to the Apex Court, is not about Atiku. It is indeed our last-ditch effort to salvage our country and deepen our democracy. Again, the background of the decimation of nearly all of the institutions of states, including the Independent National Electoral Commission, which dragged us into the quagmire. Our intent is to ensure that the judiciary, the last hope of the common man, does not go to the dogs. Wow. Things are happening in Nigeria. I mean, this is quite shocking, though APC has provided explanation to it that actually they got a clean copy, but they had to transfer it to their document, blah, 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 blah. But I think the people in position to fully explain this to Nigerians is the appeal court themselves. They need to come out and then Nigerians know so that it can clarify the suspicion that is currently hanging that Bola Tinubu team may have been the true maker of the document. Well, I don't have much to say. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your standpoint on all of these suspicions roll out as a result of what happened to the